Yo, GameBro here, and this is my very first review. A review of Sonic Jam. Let's see how well I fare and see if I'll make more of these in the future. Now, Sonic Jam is a compilation of some games and a 3D world with extras. The main Sonic games for the Genesis are in this game: Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. Of course, the latter includes the ability to lock on to the three games that include Blue Sphere, Knuckles and Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, the inclusion of the Genesis games may not sound very exciting, with there being later collections of more games, but there are extras when it comes to the games that make it more interesting. There are 3 difficulty settings for all 4 games. Easy, a mode made for the kiddies, with levels being a cakewalk. Half of them are taken out as well. Normal, a difficulty far more faithful to the Genesis counterparts, but still does add a few new things, preventing it from being as hard. Last but not least, original. It's self-explanatory. The best inclusion, a time attack for every game, encouraging you to race yourself over and over for the top 3. It adds a good chunk of replay value and reason to pick up this game. You can even save after each zone. It also has another mode called Sonic World that has a blue blur in a full 3D world for the very first time. You do not go from point A to point B. It is a small world with extras. A ton of them. You step into a world and for the first time, you'll notice that for a series about a speedy character, the gameplay sure is slow this time around. He hardly runs at where you'll have a good sense of speed in this game. He lacks a spin dash as well, making it a really simple gameplay style. The most usage of the buttons are the control of the camera, but within this lackluster gameplay, there are a variety of extras. You can go through 8 different missions, ranging from collecting a certain amount of rings to popping balloons at a certain time limit. You can look at some art, watch movies that are either Japanese commercials or its original vids, the in-game soundtrack, character profiles for the protagonist, the antagonist, and other characters. Last but not least, the history of the Blue Hedgehog, the list of just about every game that came out, along with some fun facts. Graphically, the old school games look exactly like they did in the last gen before this. Nothing to rant about. The 3D world may have not aged that well, but for being a Sega Saturn game, it doesn't look half bad. It is colorful, cartoony, and does not lag. The polygon count does the job, to say the least. Audio-wise, the tunes from the Genesis games have been unaltered, with the catchy and memorable tunes that rarely fail in a Sonic game. Some of the sound effects have changed though, adding more CD quality to them. But the new tracks, well, range from sounding okay to sounding surprisingly painful. My apologies, folks. Overall, even if you already own the Genesis games or the collections, I would still highly recommend this game for the extras not found anywhere else. The 16-bit games function exactly like they did before. Many of the extras really add to the game, and you owe this game, as the first time Sonic mixed into full 3D, a try, to say the least. It may not have every game that Genesis has to offer, but considering Sonic Jam is only one generation ahead of those games, that is still a lot of content. Overall, I give this game an 8.5 out of 10.